Let me just say briefly, because it dropped today, this impeachment thing. And if you missed it, Kyle Kalinske and I talked about it. We did a YouTube stream. If you're listening to this later on pod, go to the YouTube channel, check it out, or maybe watch it later. So we did go a little bit more into detail. I think the best thing about impeachment is time monopolization. I'm totally convinced by that argument. I love the idea. If
presidential harassment.
It's presidential harassment. It's totally unfair. I've been quoted as saying anything that gets the cortisol flowing through that bastard's body, I support. So I'm down. Now, what I am not down with is the smelling salts version of the argument. At some point outside of the Sorkin resistance world, do we need to get that we have a two-tier justice system and an insanely, I won't even say corrupted because of my problems with that word, but a fundamentally unjust political system.
Meritocracy.
A meritocracy, precisely. Yeah, I just want to see, this is great. David Feldman, man, we got to get David Feldman on the show. Feldman really knows how to nail this. Oh my God, David Feldman, the brilliant David Feldman. Subscribe to his podcast now, The David Feldman Show. Nancy Pelosi didn't want to impeach, but once Trump crossed the Rubicon by trying to make it hard for the children of Democratic leadership to earn $600,000 lobbying for a foreign government, it became personal. Yes, Feldo, exactly. So, and Kyle outlined this brilliant thing which shows just how obscene and dysfunctional our system is because it will never happen. But the point that, here's how you go after Trump. Why are Saudi officials paying overpriced prices to stay at your DC hotels, and then you are vetoing congressional efforts to stop the U.S. co-participation in and fueling of arms sales to fund the Saudi genocide in Yemen? How about an impeachment on genocide? How about an impeachment on being an aider and abettor to genocide? So that's the substantive critique. Now, what concerns me about a political process, I think, honestly, in terms of mobilization, it might be a wash. I think Trump's people already feel constantly aggrieved and victimized, and he's going to say that no matter what. So it's a wash. And I think in a good sense, I think it panics him, which I like. And I think it will motivate some Democrats. So that the politics of it, I think, could go either way. Now, if this is an incentive to spend the next several months with more deadly, dull, boring Democratic testimonials where they don't even have a strategy to embarrass these fucking people, and that's a distraction from Bernie talking about income inequality and climate, that's bad. That's really bad. So, I mean, that's it. And really, honestly, as I said from the beginning, if the attitude is Rashida Tlaib, let's impeach the motherfucker, I support it. If the attitude is, how dare you, sir, I oppose it. Because they all dare. Trump is just the most blunt version of the dare. And, while I'm on the subject of being a little bit irritated by this stuff, look, I have said every day, and I will continue to say, there's even some people, some of my friends on the left do not acknowledge and appreciate the incredible cultural and leadership role that Barack Obama played, almost definitionally, right? In fact, definitionally, the man is the first African-American president. That is a standalone in this society. I want that always to be acknowledged, and I want a fundamental humanity respected, and that's very important to remember. Now I'm going to do a hit on policy. When I see this young woman out protesting, out articulating her truth on the climate crisis, Greta Thunberg. I'm sorry, is it Thunberg or Thornburg?
I think Thunberg, actually.
Thunberg. I apologize. Greta Thunberg. When I see her shaking hands with Obama, and this is, be extremely clear, this is a pure criticism of Obama. Okay. We'll take on some of this courageous child's moral glamour. But, you know, weatherizing some houses didn't do the job. The Paris deal did not do the job by the metrics of the science we have established itself, even remotely. And you were a promoter of fracking and of trade agreements that are disastrous for ecology. And you open drilling areas and you even relax pollution standards. And I say this not to make a litany about Obama. I say this because honestly, in the grotesqueness of Trump waddling by here at the UN, there's a greater honesty. You know, Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau actually took off some makeup to congratulate her. He was in the middle of preparing for a costume party to relax. Justin Trudeau runs a petrostate and has not done a damn thing substantively to reverse Canada's contributions to the climate crisis. And in fact, has been an enemy of Indigenous sovereignty. And the Indigenous sovereignty dimension is inseparable from any serious strategy on ecology and climate. Joshua Kahn, shouts to him. He's deeply educated me on that, among others. So I bring that together because the politics of how dare you, sir, are done. All of these people have dared. And yes, that's another problem with the Ukraine thing. If Donald Trump said, I will not release a piece of foreign aid for you without political dirt, I mean, look, I'm not sure how far that is from a lot of other political practice, to be honest with you. But yeah, that would be a problem. But here's the other problem. There's dirt. That's a problem. This Biden stuff in Ukraine is almost guaranteed to be a real story. And it's another example of how dare you combined with, well, what about some of the shit you dared? And you see that in the climate performativity. Justin Trudeau has the gall to try to clout chase this young woman. Amy Klobuchar, I mean, we'll do that in the postgame. Honestly, Amy Klobuchar is so delusional, it's almost more charming. But if you don't have an actual indictment that's an actual indictment that's systemic, it's just hand-waving about Trump, I think we start not only not dealing with the fact that the earth is uninhabitable. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, you know what? When I see Amy Klobuchar dancing like this, I'm almost willing to give her a pass because this is just so embarrassing. Oh, the humanity. I'm going to show my humor. If you make me look bad in the dance, I'll shove a fucking sign up your ass.
This is going to be visual, so
yeah, this is definitely visual.
But you want to
emphasis on the visual.
She does one of these jobbies, which is the clap where your hand.
Right. Yep. She's definitely doing the. I have to say, George W. Bush looked better in West Africa. I'm not even kidding. Straight up. He at least had a certain you know what? As Wyatt Coke said, it's just as long as you do it with passion. Would apply to George Bush at the drum circle.
That doesn't apply to dancing.
It does. Well, fair enough. I agree. So, and it's summarized in this Feldman tweet. So spare us the sanctimony. And if impeachment is just a vehicle of sanctimony, it could be a political loser. If it's a vehicle of let's get in this guy's face, throw some elbows, cool. You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.